Cheers, and welcome to another episode of the Heath Bar. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. Each episode features an artist, creator, or leader from the Midwestern region, and sometimes I'll catch a guest traveling through who I think is worth your time. From songwriters, craft brewers, artists, film producers, and much, much more, you're sure to get to know some incredible people here at the Heath Bar. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast in iTunes so that you know when your freshly tapped chat is ready for you. Also, I'm always keeping an eye out for reviews, so if you're so inclined, leave one for the Heath Bar. You just might get a shout out in an upcoming episode. Stay social with me as well. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook with the handle @HeathBarOnline and on Twitter with @HeathJohnson. This episode, along with all the other chats, are on tap every day, ready for you at www.heathbaronline.com. You'll also find my music schedule, blog post about the episodes, and a bit more about me on there as well. And my guest this week is Jacob Johnson. No relation, folks. He's a songwriter out of Spearfish, South Dakota. I've known him for several years now. Really great guy, great songwriter as well. He's got that country flair too, with a little bit of rock, if you ask me. But he's a fun guy to chat with, fun guy to know. He's got an album that will be coming out later this year, so he says. And I think we're going to hold him to it. We're going to make sure that it happens because it's worth getting his music out there and for all of you to get to hear it. I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan of him. I'm glad to call him a friend, and I'm really glad I got to sit down and chat with him. So, folks, without further ado, here is Jacob Johnson. Welcome to the Heath Bar, where the conversations are always on tap. Well, cheers, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Heath Bar in your kitchen.
Are we live right now?
We're not live, but we are recording. I will get live at one point. That's the goal, but that takes funds.
Yeah, we're in the Heath Bar. It's kind of just the Johnson Bar now.
Oh, dude, it totally is. I forgot.
Works out. We got a actual bar behind us, and
Man, I have to snap a photo of that, and that'll be the promo for it. Is hanging out in your kitchen.
Yeah.
How have you been, dude? I can't remember the last time I saw you. Was it October?
Yeah, it was probably
Gosh, it was.
Songwriters Festival.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Good to actually be able to do it now, considering we live in the same town.
Like a few blocks away and never see each other.
Yeah.
That's how it works, though, dude. That was one of the things I learned early on with playing music and gigging, at least up here, is you don't really see each other that often, as much as you think you would. You know.
Well, especially when most people are working during the week, and then you're out of town on the weekends playing usually. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a rare occasion when you actually are able to get together. Yeah,
weekends are not a free thing for a musician living up here.
Yeah, my winter was actually slower than I would have liked it to be, but I guess that's what happens. I'm getting booked up now for I think almost until June. I'm getting booked up pretty solid, so that's good. The Spokes were doing a lot of weddings, which is good. So,
do you like playing weddings? Maybe you shouldn't say, because they might use this for marketing for weddings.
No, that's okay, because we've done it long enough where we got our contracts straightened out, so there's no questions. Everyone knows the expectations. Otherwise, it can kind of turn into an all-day thing, and it's a very stressful time for most people. So you're an easy one to vent on sometimes, but we got it figured out. So they work out pretty good now.
I always loved playing weddings. I haven't done one in several years, but I don't know. There was just something. I don't know. It's less work than a typical evening bar gig on a Friday or Saturday night, and money's better.
Yeah, money's better. And a lot of the ones we've been playing have been pretty fun. we usually know the people, so
Yeah.
they've been pretty good.
That's cool, man. So the Broken Spokes, you've been with them for quite a while. And that's your full band when you're not doing the solo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys start?
It was the summer of 2010, so.
Oh, geez.
So,
man.
next summer will be our 10-year anniversary.
10-year party.
Which is so crazy because I'm 24 years old, and it's crazy to think at 24 I've already been playing music, quote-unquote, professionally for money for a decade.
Holy shit, dude.
So, yeah, that's a crazy thought, and, we're it's been a good time, though, because, most of the band, like, that's kind of where our friendships started was with the band, and now we've been playing together so long, we're all good friends, and people always, like, will say, oh, you guys sound so tight, do you guys rehearse? And I'm like, honestly, I don't think we've rehearsed since probably 2011.
Oh, you play that long.
Yeah.
And does your set list has probably changed. But
yeah, it changed a little bit, but it's usually, with the wedding deal too, a lot of times we get requests for stuff to play, so we'll learn new stuff for that, but a lot of times that doesn't make it back into the regular set. But we'll like, kind of how we learn stuff is someone will be like, hey, let's learn this song, and so during sound check we all kind of just figure it out and wing it, and then that's how
okay, did
we
everyone
learn
work
new
on
stuff.
this? Let's practice now.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how we do it, and that's
Jeez.
Sound checks are rehearsal for the most part. Yeah, but we'll have to do some big party, I suppose, next summer for.
That's what you gotta do something, man. I mean, think back to 14-year-old Jacob Johnson. Did you?
Yeah, 15.
No way you had this in mind, especially with the same band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and we did technically. Whoops.
No,
technically break up, or we took like 1 year off. I think that was probably in like 2014 or something. We were not sure if we want to keep doing. I think that's when I started doing the solo stuff, actually.
I think that was right around the time I met you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I started doing the solo stuff, and then we're all like, hey, you guys want to start playing again? And sure, yeah. So then we started playing again. And
Like missed each other and called each other out.
Oh, yeah, it's just so easy. Like, I've filled in with a lot of different bands, and it's just so nice to play with the Spokes because it's just like, it's so familiar. You're just playing.
Yeah. No,
playing with the people you've been playing. It's easy. It's a good time. You can just kind of kick back and play the show and not have to worry about anything.
I can definitely understand that.
And we're all such good friends. Not a lot of bands have that where they're actually like friends.
I was talking to Kenny about that with his band, and one of the things that he brought that up was, you want to. He's like, I want a band. I forget how he worded it, but it was, I want to be able to drive 8 or 9 hours to a gig and not want to kill each other.
Absolutely.
He's like, I could care less if he cares. He wants quality musicians, but it's like I care more about can we hang out versus did you stay in time the whole time while you were playing drums or something like that.
I will 100% sacrifice. Quality musician for someone that's just cool to hang out with.
Yeah. Do you think that's just because of our location? Because I'm trying to picture, or do you think it's a personality thing? Because you go to a music hub and they're looking to record and get an album out, and they're looking for people that don't screw up. I would guess,
Yeah, maybe. There's just, here it's like. First off, there's
if you went down
not
to Nashville to record an album, would you bring the Broken Spokes and do it, or would you hire studios?
Well, a Broken Spokes album, I would.
Okay.
Obviously, but for instance, my album I'm recording now, it's pretty much me and Zach.
Okay.
Doing all the stuff, and that's because I don't know. I've always, what the Spokes do. I've always thought I would never do Jacob Johnson and the Broken Spokes. It would always be
sure.
the Spokes. That's that band. Like, we've been together since the start. Anything we do, that's that band. Now, the lead guy, Kyle Wells, he's doing solo stuff now too, and he's working on a solo EP. So, and again, that's Kyle Wells' stuff.
Sure.
And
yeah.
So, like, my stuff, that'll be my stuff. I had Kyle Meyer, our drummer for the Spokes, play drums on it just because he's, in my opinion, the best drummer in this area. Like, I think he's the best. So he'll always be my drummer.
The gauntlet's thrown.
Yeah.
Here's the best one.
Yeah. He won't admit it, but I don't know. It's just I think he's the best. And he'll always be my drummer. And I might have Melissa do some background vocals for my album because she's so good at harmonizing. She's amazing at that. So I'd like to have her, but they all live like up in North Dakota, so it's very difficult for them to get out to Gillette just to record.
Yeah.
So, if we can get a time scheduled where the Spokes would be down here, and then we can go do that stuff in Gillette that same weekend, then I'll do that. But if they're not able to make it, I might have to do something else. But
yeah. What got you started? Like when you were 14, hanging around with all your friends and decided, you know what we should do? We should start a band.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's how the conversation went.
Man, I'm going to have to... I have a terrible memory, so some of this stuff is not an easy answer for me.
Do these old fashions have anything to do with your memory?
No.
They're good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd mess with mine a bit if I have a couple more.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll be breathing fire by the end of this. Okay, so I think I started playing guitar was the first thing. I think I started that when I was about 10.
Okay. 10 years old, wow. That's
yeah,
cool.
I think so. And I took some lessons, kind of got it figured out, and I played in like pep band in high school. I was a band nerd, but I was a drummer back then.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of got my love for music with that, being a drummer, and then I played a little bass too in band, bass guitar, and me and Kyle Meyer, the drummer, started playing. It was before the Spokes started. It was probably at least a year before the Spokes started. We just would go to his house and play like System of a Down and AC/DC covers. We were both like such metalheads and still are. Like,
yeah,
I'm such a metalhead now.
Sure,
it's pretty much all I listen to. So we were really into that, and we were like, yeah, let's start a band. And me and Kyle, we were kind of friends. He lived in a town. He went to a different school than I did, but as the crow flies, where my ranch is and where he lived is like 6 miles or something.
Oh, okay.
So, but we went to high school, different towns. So we knew each other through like sports and stuff. But then we both played because he was a drummer. He was a drummer at that time too. Mm-hmm. So we got together, like, let's hang out, play, and then. So we did that for a while, just in his house, in his basement, and eventually we're like, well, we might have to get a singer before we're gonna get some gigs.
It's kind of a necessity.
And probably stop playing Slipknot covers.
People hire you, and no, we're just a drummer and a guitarist. There's no vocals here. We're just gonna noodle all night long.
So I think Kyle Meyer then knew of Kyle Wells. Yeah, there's two Kyles in the band. It's very confusing.
Yeah, that would get tough.
Yeah. So, and Kyle Wells is older than both of us. So I think he started playing at like open mics and stuff in college or something.
Okay.
So Kyle Meyer knew that Kyle Wells sang and played guitar. So we reached out to him, and I think about the same time we had Kyle Meyer's brother, Kent, sing for us as well. So then we started playing, just at the Meyer house again, and I think like our first probably year of gigs, we didn't even have a bass player, and I think like
did anyone notice? Of course they noticed.
Probably not.
Bass players everywhere are super mad right now.
There's probably a million things someone could have disliked about that other than not having a bass player.
Dude, did you see the latest? I just saw this this morning. The latest Old Spice body wash. It's called Guitar Solo.
Oh, really?
And it has like a guy up front doing like a guitar solo and like the band behind him, but it's a bass. It's a bass. And I forget the company that just ripped on it, but it was like no one ever in the history of the world has ever wanted to smell like a bass player.
Yeah.
It was funny, but
that sounds like everyone, I'm a guitar player, and everyone, yeah, you play the hell out of that bass, man. It's like, thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, yeah.
Oh, because you
totally.
Do you play the bass in the band? Or did you?
No.
Didn't you? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but
no.
I thought you played bass at some point. But.
I play bass, but not.
Oh no, you play lead guitar in the band, and that's because I only knew you from the acoustic stuff.
Yeah,
and then I saw that you were doing like shredding lead work. I'm like, oh, it's a bit more than what I thought he did. That's what it was.
Well, that's what I started as a lead player.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good one, but.
Well, you're better than me.
Yeah. So then I think when we first started, Melissa was kind of playing on our breaks, and she'd sing and play guitar, and then she like this is all, I'm not sure on the history of this, but then she started singing or playing with us, and then we were like, well, we need a bass player eventually. Who's going to do that? So then Melissa volunteered, and she figured out how to play bass.
Ooh,
and that's kind of how we got our lineup now. And yeah, 2013 was definitely like our big year. I think that's when we played like downtown Friday nights in Spearfish.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good gigs. I think that's when we opened for Joe Diffie.
Joe Diffie?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Old Joe Diffie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to meet him?
Yeah.
That looks like
I've met him a couple times.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
I grew up on Joe Diffie, man.
Yeah, he's great.
Man.
So, yeah, that 2013 was kind of our big year. And yeah, just kept going after that. I didn't start the solo stuff until, like I said, probably 2015, probably.
What point in all of that it was really awesome watching your head try to remember the storyline of that too.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
But what part of that did you decide to start writing your own stuff? Because that's always an interesting thing to me is at what point do you switch from, hey, I'm learning other people's songs, I've got some words that I want to put to music here.
Well, I think it started like probably, it might even started before I started playing in a band. Typical teenage stuff. Hate the world, hate everyone. And I would write like these like metal song lyrics that I would be afraid to even look at them now.
That is a common theme though. Everyone I've talked to has said that when they started writing when they were teenagers, it was all just like sad, depressing, angry music.
Oh,
even, I don't know, who the person, so like Jamie Lynn, completely not who you would think of for like angry.
Yeah.
Nope, she started with a punk band, just singing, it's just how people do it. I think it's just the age.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just
attracts
the age, but like I still love metal just for that, because I wasn't a big music fan until I got into metal. I didn't like start re-listening to like country and Red Dirt and classic country until like almost college.
Okay.
So
was your band playing metal music
no,
in high school? Okay.
No. Well, like I said, when me and Kyle Meyer would get together, we would do AC/DC covers, Slipknot covers.
Oh, just hanging out.
Just
and everything. Okay,
like
gotcha,
guitar and drums, just screwing around kind of thing. Because that's the stuff we listen to.
Sure.
So that's what we were playing. So that's kind of what I first started writing. But I think I didn't write like my first real songs until, man, it had to be sometime around 2013. Because I remember my first ones. And I just hate.
Your face.
I hate them.
You're cringing.
Because, okay.
He's physically cringing, everyone. This is quite a sight.
I call them my 2013 songs. Because, oh, man. So 2013, do you remember that year in mainstream country music? That's where I feel like it all kind of hit the end of the line.
You think that's when like the quality just that was all it had left?
I think that was the start of the snowball, what we have today.
What were the albums that came out in 2013? Oh, you know what? We can find out. Let's find out.
Well, I'll say this much. I went to Florida Georgia Line in concert in 2013, I think. I didn't hate them back then.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's see some of the music that came out in 2013.
Yeah,
I feel like
2013
that was a great year.
country albums.
Especially, I was just in college that year, so, I mean, party music was right up my alley.
All right. So, there's some good ones. So, Casey Musgraves came out that year.
Who I love.
Same trailer, different park. Dude, she just won, was it Grammy? No.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
She
I don't have TV in my...
kicked butt. Well, her newest album's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, her album is Golden Hour her newest one?
Golden Hour, yeah.
That is honestly one of my favorite albums.
Dude,
I love that album.
Blows me away. It's one of your favorite albums. So Thomas Hendry out of Sioux Falls, Burlap Wolfgang. It's it's like his all time. Like he swears by it.
I love that album.
Okay, Luke Bryan's Crash My Party came out that year.
Hell yeah.
Keith Urban's Fuse. Blake Shelton, Kenny Chesney. Lady Antebellum showed up. The band Perry. That might have been Pioneer. I don't know. Was that their first one?
I have no idea.
Oh, Luke Bryan had 2 albums come out that year. Like you do.
It's a good year, yeah.
No. So Charlie Worsham, Rubber Band came out that year. I don't know if you listen to him. That's a quality album.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some.
Sturgill Simpson's High Top Mountain.
Yeah.
So look through that list. See if there's any that you recognize. There's some good ones.
The big one for me was when Florida Georgia Line was just hitting.
And you were a big fan.
And like Granger Smith, I was a fan of him back in those days.
Okay.
I mean, Trouble by Randy Rogers. But here's the thing, like that Red Dirt stuff, that has been good for
like the life-saving grace
since
of
it
country
started.
music. Yeah.
But a lot of the popular stuff, I feel like 2013 is where it all, in my opinion, started going downhill. Mm-hmm. So, I was so influenced by those people, and a lot of my songs in 2013 are just like...
they're the party pop country type.
They were.
band?
I mean,
Okay.
man, if I were to put them things out now, I'd probably be a hit.
That's why we've never heard them because you don't play them.
I refuse to play them. I wish...
Giving up millions of dollars out of principle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not playing that song.
There is a Broken Spokes demo CD floating around that we recorded like 10 songs in like 6 hours. And I think a couple of them were on there. And if that album was never seen again, I would be very happy.
I'm going to start hunting down pawn shops
yeah.
to see if it shows up.
Yeah, that thing was yucky.
I'll get you to sign it and just like have it up in my... I'll frame it. Just put it
Well,
up.
it's good to look back to see where you've came from, but a lot of that early stuff I'm not a fan of. But I will say, there are like the album I'm working on now that I've been working on for 3 years. Mm-hmm. There are albums from way back then that are going to be on there.
Songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They better be because I've been a fan of your songs since I've met you, and like I don't have anything to push play on my CD player anything
it's
in here?
been long overdue.
We did that EP, I guess. We've got that one.
Yeah.
The acoustic one.
Yep. Yeah, I've been long overdue because I have probably at least 3 full albums worth of stuff that I'd be comfortable
putting
releasing.
Out there. Sure.
So I really got to get to work on it. I kind of have a plan for everything. I already have the next album ready, pretty much all figured out.
Do you find it like, are you more comfortable knowing you've got like 2 to 3 albums worth of music that you can put out? So like when the first one hits, you're not rushing to oh shit, now I got to get, Does that give you a little bit of less of a sense of dread?
Yeah, maybe just because I'm just so, since I got into real estate, my creativity has kind of got stifled just because I'm so busy. Mm-hmm. And when I was just playing music full time, I would just sit around all day. So there's nothing else to do but write music.
Yeah.
You have to be creative. You have to have a certain amount of boredom, I feel like. So, but now I try to schedule it out. I'm getting back into writing now. The stuff I'm writing now, I'm pretty happy with. It's very different than what I have wrote before.
How does that work for you? Do you write through a bunch of really crappy songs till you get to one you like and then keep that, or do you like not write until you feel like this is a song I want to finish?
For me, it's very much like I'll try to grind something out, get something out for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Have nothing good. And then I'll have one idea, and I'll finish a whole song in 5 minutes, and it's good enough.
Sure.
I have a lot of songs where it's just like either an idea or a chorus or a line, and I'm terrible at finishing those. And even when I do finish a lot of those, they're not my best. My best stuff, I think, is the ones that just kind of flow out right away. And I know there's a lot of songwriters that are the same way.
Well, it's like you're in that headspace at the moment, so you can follow the train of thought and see where it ends and where it leads. Versus trying to get back in it once you step away from it. Yeah,
but I'm definitely not one of those songwriters that a lot of the stuff I write, I'm not a fan of.
Of your own stuff?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Someone comes to your show and requests your own stuff. You're like, really
do I have to? Why do you want to hear that?
Why do you say that? Like, why would you say you're not a fan of your own stuff?
I don't know. I think it's because I definitely don't think of myself as a perfectionist, but my actions sometimes would dictate otherwise.
Is it comparing like to songs and artists that you listen to and like?
Yeah, maybe. It's just, I don't know. I'm so, I just like, I'm just never quite. I'm always just like, I could have been better. And even the stuff that I know isn't bad, I'm still just like, I don't know.
Yeah, see, I get that moment. So when I practice for a show at home, like for a songwriters round where I know I'm playing all of my own music, like I'll be playing a song and I'll like get in the feel of how I felt when I wrote it. I'm like, oh, this is a good song. Then I'll get up there to play it and I'm like, I don't feel that way anymore right now. I'm not in that emotional state or whatever you want to call it. And so then the song kind of, I don't know. I feel like if people could see the practice instead of the performance, they would get more of the emotion behind it. And maybe I need to get better at presenting the emotion on stage than I do behind closed doors. I don't know.
Man, I don't even play mine out very much.
Well, we got rounds coming up, man. We're gonna. Yeah. I got you. You got to play them.
Yeah,
you can't say no.
That's why I like doing a good songwriters round every once in a while, because then it's like people know what they're getting. A lot of times when you play at bars, it's like to throw in. It would be different. I feel like when I get an album out, so hopefully they've maybe at least heard the song first, and then you play it at the show, it's different. And you have an album to promote, so like obviously play your stuff on the album, try to promote the album. But right now, like people never heard most of my stuff. So then when I play it, they don't know it, and a bar is not always the most conducive for hearing new stuff because half the time you can't hear anything.
You mean people aren't quiet and listening to you the whole time? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't play a lot of my stuff out, but that's why I like the songwriters rounds, is because then people come there knowing, hey, this is original music, and so I have no problem playing them then.
Yeah. Yeah. What do your songs usually come out of? Are they like life experiences themselves, or is it more of an idea that pops in your head and you think, hey, this would be cool to follow this to its end?
Yeah, for me, it's very all over the place. There's some songs that are like just complete 100% what I was feeling at that time. Mm-hmm. Just me. Because I'm very bad at like speaking what I'm feeling in general.
Showing your emotions?
Yeah, I don't talk a lot.
Do you have the classic guy syndrome? Is that what it's called?
What is that?
Oh, just guys don't talk about their emotions. And
Well, I'm just an ultra introvert.
Okay.
I don't care to...
I'm way too outgoing at points, but...
Yeah. So,
you're like,
I wish I had that. I'd probably sell a lot more real estate.
Right. I'll give you some of mine because it gets me into pretty awkward situations on occasion.
Yeah. But. Being quiet gets you in those too.
Good point. Good point.
But so some of them are very much my experiences, like just me putting my thoughts into a song. And then there's a lot of them where, and I think some of my favorite ones are just stories, basically, just bullshit. Like, and some of them, most of the songs I'll write them, and I really don't know what they mean or why I wrote. Yeah, like if a lot of my songs, if you were to ask me like, what does this mean? Mm-hmm. My only answer would be like, whatever you think it is, because I have no idea.
It means something different to everyone.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of the beauty of songwriting, though.
Yeah.
Even if a song means something to me, a listener is not going to get the same thing.
Right.
So, and I guess being a fan of like rock music and things like that, a lot of those songs, they were just fun. Like they're not reinventing the wheel,
just playing
like
it.
Motley Crue, like,
Sure.
girls, like... that's not...
But it's a classic. We love it.
Like, I love that stuff. So I've really tried to not filter myself as far as if it just feels... Like, if I write a song and I just did it for fun, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just what it is. I'm cool with that.
So how do you choose the songs that you're going to put on your album? I mean, if it's like... Because if there's not a lot of emotional connection to it internally with you, like what is it that makes you decide, hey, this is the songs I should pick? Mm-hmm.
Well, for this first one, because it's this being my first album, it's just the ones I choose that kind of fit everything I've wrote up to this point.
Okay.
And so it's gonna be kind of themed. It's going to be called Four Wire Fences or Four Wire Fence.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the title track. I have a song called Four Wire Fences.
That's a great song.
That I wrote with
It's a great song.
Kyle Wells. And that song is me and Kyle Wells, the singer from the Spokes. We were both kind of in the same point in our lives at that song because we both grew up on ranches, ranching, and playing music too. So we could relate to that song in that sense, and he wrote, I think I had the chorus, and he gave me the verses, and I edited them. Okay. So I think that song is, I mean,
it's
just as much his as mine. So that's kind of where I'm basing the album around, because there's other songs that kind of fit that theme of going from ranching to music. I mean, the whole album, this one is very much, I didn't write it for someone out in the coast.
Sure.
I wrote it very much for people in the Midwest, South Dakota, people, farms, ranches, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of I have better songs than ones that are on this album, but they just didn't fit. I think after this album, I might do like a 5 or 4 song EP to do the ones that don't fit in anything, and then the next album is going to be the songs I've wrote since I started that album on, which I think I already have the title for the album. The next album is going to be called Chaos, because it just like my whole life is just chaos,
just up and about.
It's like embrace the chaos, just embrace the chaos. It's such a shit show all the time. So that's what that album's gonna be. So that one might be kind of a themed one. I can see that. So the album I'm working on now, it's very much one thing I want to do is, because it's my own album, I can do what I want. I want to try to cover like a lot of genres with it.
Oh, okay.
So I do it on like a song by song basis. So a lot of the songs you'll listen to the album, and we have all the music done for the album right now. Like I'm going to record vocals this weekend.
Nice.
But on a song by song basis, like one song will be a bluegrass song. The next song will be a 90s country sounding song. The next one will be a full-on hard rock song.
Jeez.
So
he's spreading the gambit, man.
But I mean, why not? Like I like all that stuff, so why not all have it on one album? So that's what, when a lot of times when you do an album, you want it to sound, conducive and as like one piece a lot of times.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's value though, and I think an album should represent the artist more than anything, And I think there, especially like a first one, like, hey, this is, it's like your first presentation to the world. I mean, you could argue that gigs are that, but I think globally or whatever you want to look at, it's that first album. That comes out, people get that idea of, okay, this is what I can expect from this artist, and then from there you can vary and everything like that. So it's cool that I don't know. I think it's neat that you're taking that approach of just, look, I like all this different stuff, I enjoy it. This is how I write my music. Here's the variances of styles that come out of my head. Yeah.
Well, like for instance, one of the reasons why I love Golden Hour, Casey Musgrave, so much is she covers like a lot. Like she's got like some straight up like disco songs.
Oh man,
I love that.
I was blown away.
It was so refreshing to hear that.
So the first time I heard that album, I was talking with Domkowski.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't know he hadn't heard the whole album yet. So he was he saw her on a show singing High Horse. Yeah. Which is
I love that whole album.
It's a great song. But it feels like a song that needs dance choreography. Well, that's not really Casey's thing, So he said there were moments there where it just felt like she didn't know what she was supposed to, like, what do I do with my hand type of situation, Nothing, it's nothing against the song or anything like that. And especially when, you kind of jump, and I'm sure she listens to that genre more in her spare time and everything like that. But for the listener, getting her first 2 albums, then to make that jump to that is
it was definitely
very noticeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But good move.
Yeah, definitely. And well, another example of that, and kind of what I'm going for with this album, is Zac Brown Band put out. I don't know if it was their last one. I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know what any stuff is out now.
I couldn't even tell you, man.
They put out that one, I think it was called Jekyll and Hyde, maybe?
I think it was a few years back.
It was a few years back.
Yeah, okay.
And they got a lot of criticism for that album. A lot of people hated it because they had first off, they had that song with Chris Cornell on there that I loved. I mean, Zach Brown Band was on rock radio. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that. And then
Jacob's like, there's my strand. That's my avenue.
Yeah. Like, I love when artists do that. Like, why stick with your genre?
You like the cross kind of
if it
pollinating
works.
thing? Sure.
Sometimes it doesn't work, but the stuff that does work, I like that. That's what Eric Church is another example. Mm-hmm. When he put out Outsiders, a lot of people didn't like it because it was kind of more rock and just more experimental. I mean, if the music's good, the music's good, in my opinion.
Yeah, Eric's one of those artists that I love. I love his song "Cold One." I love Mr. Misunderstood. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He's definitely not one of my. If I want to kick on an album, he's not one of the first people I think of. And I don't know why, because he's a great artist. Speaking of cross pollinating, I hear that 2013's Florida Georgia Line is going to be making an album with the Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah!
Did you hear this? Have you heard this?
Is that like
this
new?
Is true. This is happening.
Oh, I thought I heard that I thought they were going to do that like years ago.
Maybe they already did it, and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't pay attention at all.
I heard that. I think I heard it last year. God, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's certain things that should just stick to their lane. I don't know.
My tip bucket at my show, you've seen it, haven't you?
Oh God, it's great.
Yeah, I get a lot of tips from that where it says the Florida Georgia Line Retirement Fund. And it's got like this goofy picture of them on there. And I say, I'm like, yeah, folks, if you hear something you like tonight, throw in a couple bucks. It goes to a good cause. Florida Georgia Line Retirement Fund. Get them boys off the radio so they can stop making shitty music.
People dig it.
People
laugh,
people love
man.
that.
They laugh at stuff like that. Well, I think people that pay attention know. They know that there's a certain strand of and this isn't just country. This is any
pop
genre.
music. It's any genre has the same thing.
Overdone by the executives and gets manufactured for you, and it's not genuine at any level of the word. And people, I mean, to a certain extent, it has some kind of value, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I think when you oversaturate the market with that, people recognize it, and I think that's what's happening now. Is people are realizing I want music that's from someone, Well,
like, people like that stuff. Like, there's a reason it's popular. Like, there's a reason pop music works.
Granted, like I guess I'm not speaking against pop music. There's lots of pop music songs that I was just talking with Anna Robbins about this, and I couldn't think of the song, but it's "Feel It Still" by and I'm gonna forget the band now. Is it crap? I can't remember the band. At least I remember the name. She'll be proud of me that I remember the name.
New?
No, it's here. Portugal the Man, which is kind of a pop song, I guess. I don't know. It feels pop to me. But I think there's a certain level of, I don't know, with country music, there's only so many genres you can transcend with that. Like rock and country,
southern rock
definitely works. It definitely has a lifeblood in that.
To me, it's just like you can just sense the bullshit.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like, there is pop music that I like, but you can just tell the bullshit. And that's the problem I have with new country. And granted, I don't listen to a lot of it, so I don't really even know what's going on.
I don't think you're missing too much, man.
But it's just like, if I do hear a new song, it's just like I could have. It's the same thing.
Do you ever get, as a songwriter, do you ever get tempted to put out some kind of bullshit just for dollars?
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, first off, I don't make any money at it, so it's not really worth. Honestly, I've thought about, though, like, pitching my 2013 songs just to, like, someone, because heck, if someone else wants to play them and they can pay me royalties for them, then whatever, but...
Can you put my fake name on that, please?
Yeah, do a pseudo name.
People to know.
Yeah, Mark Twain it.
I don't know. I I mean, here's two guys sitting here drinking old fashions, ripping on people that have millions of dollars in their pocket because they're playing music.
Yeah, I guess.
We get to do that though. We're allowed to do that, so we're gonna do it.
But our good friend Cody Hollinger opened for Florida Georgia Line.
He did,
and I would have done the same thing. Shit, if it pays.
Well,
good exposure.
He got to play his own music.
Yeah, and it's not
like they made him play
stuff,
covers.
So,
So you got this Florida Georgia Line crowd that's getting to hear original, authentic South Dakota music. And I made fun of him at the time for it, but still,
so would I.
I mean, it's what you do because you're friends. It's what you do with your friends, But I mean, at the same time, like here's an opportunity to play your songs in front of a massive crowd. Why would you not take it?
Put it on the resume, I guess.
Yeah.
And if it pays and whatever. As long as you get to play your own stuff.
Yeah.
And no one's censoring, oh, maybe you should play this. Then whatever. Do whatever you want.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm with you on that one.
Speaking of Cody. Yeah. I got to say, his song Worn Out Land that I play more than my songs.
Yep.
Is a freaking masterpiece.
In my opinion, it's one of the top South Dakota born songs.
Yeah. You ever hear them songs where you're just like, God damn it, I missed the ball. I should have wrote that.
Why didn't I think of that? Yes. He wrote that by himself, or was he?
I think so, yeah.
God, night.
And I remember we were carpooling down to Oklahoma for the Medicine Stone Music Festival.
Nice.
I think 2 years ago? Maybe it was last year.
Is that the one you bumped into Tyler Childers at the
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can say I've played in front of Tyler Childers and half of Turnpike.
Ooh.
So,
the good half or the... I'm just kidding. They're both halves are great.
But that song, like, we were like just cruising down there, talking, listening to music, and I'm like, you know that song Worn Out Land you have? And he's like, yeah. I was like, why don't you play that?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, start playing that. And I think he plays it now, but shit, I play it more than he does probably.
I hear it most every time I see him play. That's a song I'd love to learn and play myself.
Yeah.
Like one of my goals is to be able to play at least one song from every South Dakota artist that I know, And
that's something I would like to do more too, because for instance, look at the Red Dirt scene. They all play each other's songs.
Yeah.
Even classic country, they all played.
Yep.
Like how many different Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. How many different people played that?
How many different times can you hear the same song from a different artist? Yeah. They just what's the Waylon Jennings songs? We're in this thing together, boys, so let's settle down and steal each other's songs.
Yeah. They used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
That'd be cool to do as a music culture up here, is learn each other's songs and play them. And that way, whenever we're all together somewhere at a round, we can all just jump in and play. That'd be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and we'll get everyone's take. Like, for instance, there's one of Kenny's songs that I want to cover, his song "Runaway." That's freaking amazing. Dude. And yeah, that's what when that was recorded on that EP. I can't remember. I was there for sure. I can't remember who else was there.
It was you, me, Eric, and Kenny. I think it was just us
there was
four.
Someone else there, maybe.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Anyways, when that was recorded, I remember I was just sitting back and I just want to like beer right in the middle of the recording. Like, yeah. When he recorded that, I was like, oh, that was the first time I heard that song. I was like, damn, like that's some good stuff right there. So I would like to cover that one, but I have a take on it that like that song would make such a good like hard rock song.
But see, that's the cool thing with songwriting is when another person takes the reins of that song, like it can become something completely different, and that's okay. That's okay to do.
That song me and you wrote together.
Oh, dude, I've been playing that more and more.
Yeah.
What did we call that one? Carry On.
Yep. Carry On.
Yeah.
But me and you, we play that song completely different.
Yeah, we do. Even the lyrics change a bit.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
But that's good. Like, I like that.
Yeah, that was one of those, hey, I've got a chorus.
I think you
texted
brought me
you
the
the
chorus, and
chorus.
you're like, this sounds like a song.
This is a
sounds
song,
like your type of song.
that you could finish and help me finish, because it had that, I don't know, when I put the
It
idea in
involved
my
booze
head,
and
it had that Jacob Johnson feel in my head for it, and I was like, I got to text it to him, and I think you texted me back some of the lyrics and then a quick audio,
yeah.
and then I think it was done by the end of that night. We had it finished.
I think you had the chorus, and I gave you the verses, and you changed them a little bit, and
that's on my list of my next album that'll be on there.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one didn't make the cut for this one, but
unbelievable.
Yeah, this is too late in the game, because we wrote that after I already had this.
Yeah,
that's what the album I'm working on now. I started recording that like 3 years ago, so there's songs I would love to put on there now, but it's like I gotta get
you gotta
this
finish
out.
it.
Yeah, I got.
Well, because then what happens is the songs get put on the back burner and then they never get done.
Yeah,
like you gotta complete stuff that you've had to move forward. And plus, because if you don't, they're gone forever. Like when you're gone, they're gone. You know.
Well, and this is something that me and Cody have talked about quite a bit. How us South Dakota artists, I'm so proud of our scene we have out here. Like people who come to shows out here, like they don't realize how fortunate they are. Like just for instance, I played out in Sioux Falls last weekend. And people came up like, yeah, there's not a lot of music out here all the time. And I'm like, well, out in the hills, there's always music.
Yeah.
So it's like, and we have so many artists out here. And it's just like, I'm so proud of our little community we have out here. I feel like we're literally just like, and even the Rocky Mountain guys, like we're our own little thing, just like the Red Dirt guys are. So, and me and Cody talk about this a lot, like, oh, we have so much talent out here. Like, why don't more people know about us? And I think it's just because we don't put out enough music.
Yeah, it's hard for. Yeah, we definitely don't have as many albums as far as the list. Although I will say this, I was just talking to Molly Brown, out of Deadwood. They just bought a bar. And they want to start having local music for sale, like CDs for sale there, and playing local music on a playlist in their bar, so that when people come in, it's all local stuff and everything like that, and they can, say, hey, that's who you're hearing. Here's the CD right here. And I asked who'd be interested in this, and quite a few people got to me. And so I think there's more than we realize. I think there's just not an avenue to distribute and make people aware of that. I think that's the next. Maybe that's the next step. One of the next steps for the songwriters group is to create some type of avenue for that, instead of people just doing it on their own, which is bringing their stuff to their shows and everything like that. I don't know. Like there's not really a Walmart CD section around that's having local music.
Black Hills.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Black Hills Vinyl does. Yeah. They have a local section and stuff, but I don't know how many people know about it.
Yeah.
And
I think you got a good point.
Know about bringing their music to sell there. I mean. A lot of people know about Black Hills Vinyl in and of its own, but
for instance, like me, I've been playing for 3-4 years, and I haven't put anything out. Cody, look at how long he's been playing. He hasn't put hardly anything out yet.
Yeah,
which good for you for doing the EPs you were doing for us. That helped a lot. And then like guys like Kenny, he has a bunch of albums out just with cell phone recordings. Right. And so down in Oklahoma, me and Cody were sitting on the Illinois River hanging out, and this song comes over these speakers, just out of random, and we're like, sounds familiar. She pulls a
oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah. We're like, God damn it, Kenny.
That's Kenny's
why you're
song.
Popular. Like, why do people like you?
Oh, so they just wanted to record an album.
Yeah.
I was at their first some of it, and dude, it sounds great. It sounds great.
Yeah, that's what I got to get my album out. Everyone, if you're an artist and here, put an album out, even if it's
and the cool
even
thing
if it's
too,
5 songs. Like if I were to do it again, I would get like a 4 or 5 song EP out. That's what Kyle Wells is doing. And I'm like, yeah, do that.
Something out.
Just get something out, because that's the only way people are going to hear it.
Well, one of the cool things too is I don't know. I'm really glad that the music room opened, full on recording studio.
Yes.
I'm really glad that Eric moved up here, because he knows what he's doing when he's recording music and stuff, and so we're able to have like people that have that kind of ability and talent. You burn in fire yet?
The end of that.
But finally, we've got people that have that give us an opportunity and an avenue to do that with, And I don't think that the Black Hills has had that to that degree. There's been other studios, but I don't know. I feel like this is different. I don't know. I feel like it's different.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my own personal bias because I'm a fan of, because they're friends of mine, or because I know them and I've worked with them in the past, but. It feels different. Like when I was there, when Kenny and them were recording it, the whole thing felt like this is, like the whole point of it was we're going to put out quality music, and everyone's goal was for that. It wasn't just, all right, hit record, and I have no invested interest in whether this sounds good or not. I just want to make some money. It's like, no, Eric wants it to sound good, But
yeah, shout out to the music room for opening up.
Absolutely.
I was a roommate with Caleb back in college.
Oh, nice.
One of the founders, and I recorded with Adam too, before they started the music room, and they're gonna do great stuff. But I'm super happy with recording with Zach now out in Gillette. It works out pretty good because it's just the two of us. So, I went into the studio as they were basically just acoustic songs, so we were able to kind of bounce ideas back and forth, and we're really taking our time with this one. That's for sure.
You said you've been working on it for 3 years, like recording with him for 3 years, or that includes the songwriting part and everything. Okay.
No, I think I started recording back when I was still in college.
What do you think the biggest challenge is to be able to get that done that you've experienced?
Scheduling time.
Is it scheduling?
Yeah. The next one, this is what I'm gonna do. I have it planned out. I'm gonna just work the songs through on GarageBand and get them done. Like write all the parts. With GarageBand, you can do the virtual drummer stuff.
Yeah.
Get everything as close to the way I want it as possible. Have the demo done. That way, when you go and record, you can just track. Because with this album, we're not just tracking, we're writing half the music while we're tracking.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of this album...
Because it's all your own stuff that you've only really ever done acoustically.
Yeah, and...
Okay.
Yeah, and I went in and didn't know... Thank God for Zach, because, man, he's came up with some ideas. Like, he's done a lot of the guitar work. Most of the guitar work on there. I mean, I'm like, leave it to the professional.
Dude, he knows what he's doing, man.
And
he's a killer player.
And because it's funny because we've been recording it for so long, each time I go back, it's like I'm listening to him for the first time. So I'm like, oh man, this sounds awesome. Like I am so excited to get this album out.
Wait a second, so you like your own music now?
I don't like the songs. I like the way it sounds sonically. Like the way it sounds, the music.
Let's talk about your marketing plan here.
Yeah,
the songs are shit, but the way they're played is
I don't like this. Hopefully you will.
No, dude, they're great songs. I don't even care what you say.
Yeah,
I dig them. I absolutely dig them.
Yeah. Yeah. But, oh man, a lot of those songs, I went in there and I'm like, yeah. I will say, coming up with the music part of it, the whole composition has made some of the songs infinitely better.
Sure.
And not even better, but just completely, a lot of them are just completely different. And
like a whole different
exciting.
feel.
Yeah. It's so nice to have someone else's input in that part because dude,
it's a game changer. I think it's so Old Oak Tree, my tune.
Yes, I gotta say, the way you redid it, I like it.
Yeah, well, a lot of that actually, all the changes that happened in that and the way it was finally done on our EP was Eric. He was sitting around and playing, and he thought of this, like guitar. I don't know if it's called a lick or a riff. It's not really anything. Yeah. It's just
a hook, some sort of
hook. Hook's probably a better word for it, but it kind of became it changed the song entirely, and now I can't, even when I play the song myself acoustically out at a show, I hear that in my head, like that that goes with the song now. It's just part of it, you know. But you don't get that if you're not interacting and getting influenced by other people into your own stuff. Like, hey, you should do this, or what do you think of that? And you know, and it took me a while. Like, he'll tell you this. It took me a while to like that. I was like, because at first I thought it was a synth. It just sounded so weird. And he's like, no, it's my guitar. And he showed me the pedals that he was using to get that sound. And I went, oh. And then I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. But once I realized it's an actual guitar, because I don't know.
Yeah.
The band's the Ruthless West, so having a synthesizer in there doesn't really fit. You know what I mean?
Clubbing it up.
I mean, we're not Florida Georgia Line or anything, Jacob.
Yeah. But well, to bring it all the way back to what I was talking about, just to touch on this.
Yeah.
With Zach Brown Band, they put out on that last album they did that a lot of people didn't like, a dance song, like
really?
Dance song. Yeah, it was called, what the hell is it called? I don't remember what it was called. But I love that song. It's so good. I love it.
There's value in artists from a certain genre showing you their talent and doing something different.
The way I see it is, at the end of the day, no matter what genre it is, good music.
Yeah.
If it's done right, it's done right.
I mean, even I will bust out a hip-hop medley at my shows for the right amount of tips.
Well, especially, I think you're... Yeah.
That's not enough. Find some people, get some help, and I'll play it. But
I think, well, you're probably a lot like me. We're just influenced by so many
different
genres.
styles. So many different people. I
started on heavy metal, like Slipknot, Till the Day I Die will be my favorite band.
Really?
Because that is they carried me through so much of my life with Slipknot.
Yeah, they did come out at kind of that perfect time for teenage.
Oh yeah, if you're an angry teenager.
I was in was I in college? I forget when they came out. They
came out in like the late 90s.
So you're 24.
Yeah.
So I'm 11. Okay, so I'm 11 years older than you. So
Bush.
Yeah, Bush lattes, man. Bush. We go from an old fashioned to but cheers again.
Latte, yeah.
Cheers again. Let's kill it.
Hanging out in the Johnson bar.
Let's pound them. I haven't.
I told Heath these are pounders, so you got to commit to it. These have been sitting in my fridge for a long old time too. So
Not
they probably
that bad.
got better.
There was a poll recently about what should be South Dakota's official beer, and so many people were voting Busch Light.
Yeah.
And I got pissed. I'm like, it's not even made here. There's so many local breweries that that make great beer, but you know, it's just something about, I don't know.
Yeah.
The culture out here.
Speaking of beers, Crow Peak Pilot Dirt Porter. Oh yeah. One of my top 5 favorite.
See, I could have brought that for you. We could have been having that instead.
I thought about it, but
you should have asked me. I'd have brought it.
It's alcohol. I have such a love-hate relationship with it. You know, it's been so good to me, but it's kind of turned its back on me lately.
It can, like, in what way? In what way?
You know,
like you've been making poor choices,
I'll put it this way. For being 24 years old, it concerns me how bad I feel on such little amount the next day.
Yeah, so it doesn't get any better once you get over 30.
I can't even imagine. I feel like sobriety may be in my future.
Dude, I've been contemplating it, and
I did it a couple months back for a month.
Part of me is like, awesome. Maybe I shouldn't have named this the Heath Bar, because what if I stopped drinking?
Start eating chocolate bars.
Well, that's true. I could go that route, but no, I will.
Bars of soap.
If I day drink, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's when it's late night, and I have a bit too much. It takes me 3 days. To get back to full 100%.
Clear out the calendar.
Oh, it's not like when I'm at a gig anymore. It's 2, 3 at the most if it's a good gig, and I might play a little bit longer. And that's beer. It's not like shots and addition. That's just straight. And then it's like, no, that's all I can, because I don't want to wake up hurting. You know,
You got stuff to do the next day.
I got stuff I want to do, you know? Like I want to not wake up at 2 p.m. and then hurt until I have to go play another gig, you know?
That's what the month last year when I was sober, I was like, man, like Sundays actually are another day of the week.
You get this?
Like you can actually do
7
something.
days?
I know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Absolutely. Like I will wake up I wake up at 6 for work on the weekdays. I've started to do that on weekends as well, as much as possible. Nothing past 8 o'clock, just because I want to have a morning where I like get up, do something, and I feel like I get to accomplish something in the day. You know what I mean? But it doesn't happen. I don't know. There's certain there's events and parties that I'll go to. It's like, okay, I'm at a buddy's house, so we're gonna be staying here, or my wife's pregnant right now, so I know she's going to be able to drive me home. Like, okay, you know what? I have nothing going on the next day, and I'll do that every now and then.
But you have to prepare yourself for misery, though.
Before I go, I am chugging water. I am taking all these different things just so and then before I go to bed, I chug some more water and ibuprofen, and I'm like, okay, maybe this will help.
But I'm 24.
See, I got 11 years on you, man.
Yeah, it concerns me.
You must have hit it pretty hard.
Woo-wee. Man. Well, that's the thing. I did not drink in high school at all. I was not one of those people.
See, I didn't either. Yeah.
I was a saint in high school. So I had a lot of making up to do in college. I'd go to parties in college.
You might have went too fast.
And I would walk into a party this was my go-to for a long time in college.
Don't you say Jägermeister.
No,
thank God.
Never.
I might throw up right at the spot.
This might be worse. I would walk into a party with a bottle of Jack Daniels and 2 cans of Coke.
Oh my gosh.
And both would be gone by the end of the night.
Just regular cans.
Yep, because this is what I do. I would take a little splash of Coke, just coat the mouth, chug the Jack until I want to puke, and then...
Oh my gosh.
That's all I needed.
Nope, I've never done that.
Yeah, man, those were...
Don't think I ever will.
I got a lot... It's funny. I'm 24 years old, and I look back on when I was 21, and I'm like, I was barely a human being at that point.
Yeah, I think all of us were barely human.
Yeah.
Like, we're still figuring everything out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you think you know everything.
Yeah, you're an adult.
You're
not
a big
really.
dummy.
Not
you're
really.
a big, giant dummy.
I think it's just because you finally get to that... I think because you're at that point where you realize, I really don't know shit. Like, all through your high school years... Your parents don't know shit. You ignore them, and you're like, no, whatever, because they just annoy everything out of you. You get to 21, you're like, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And it takes about another 10 years before you finally acknowledge it and, like, apologize to your parents, I guess. But I don't know. But
yeah.
This is a good rant. This is a good rabbit trail. I kind of dig this.
Well,
so, do you think you might go sober? A lot of people do it, man.
Some event, I honestly, eventually, I think.
Yeah?
Eventually it's going to come a time where it's just not, I'll be honest, like, I love beer, like, I love the way it tastes, I love when, you're having supper, it's like, or wine, I'm becoming a fan of wine now.
Yeah?
So I don't know, like, I love it, but man, like partying anymore, just the
partying I think is what
that's more of what it is the partying.
Like for me, like I can see myself being the guy that comes home from work, has a little glass of bourbon every night, and that's it. I can see that happening, but the partying, the shotgunning and everything like that, like I just don't think.
You want to hear another impressive story? Me in my prime.
Do you want to share one? Is the question.
Oh, this might be a good one. This might be one for the record books, folks.
I hope your mom's listening.
She'd be so proud. Yeah, she probably knows all this, but so me and Kyle Meyer were DJing a just shop party somewhere up in North Dakota, like over by Jamestown, and we went there, and they had several kegs, and we took a beer bong. I don't know when the last time you took a beer bong was.
It would have been About a decade ago. Yeah.
So we roll up with this beer bong, and we're DJing this place and having a good old time. And well, normally when you fill up a beer bong, it's a beer's worth, 12 ounce. Well, I was filling them up out of the keg, so I would fill it to the brim. And I counted them, 18 in one night.
Holy shit.
18 full-on funnel bongs.
As a former bartender,
it was in and out by the end.
I would have cut you off at 1.
Oh, man. And but the thing that bothers me the most about that is I would wake up the next morning, tip-top Magoo, like, let's go get some Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ugh.
Not a problem. Now I'll probably be hungover tomorrow.
So, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit hurting on these Busch Light.
Yeah, the
old-fashioned.
That
old-fashioned will hit it.
That wild turkey,
well, the thing is, like, when you get to, like, I've noticed recently for me, like, if I have a night like that, I have to wake up and I have to have 2.
Yeah.
2 beers.
Really?
And that at least takes that massive pain off.
I can't do that.
And then it kind of slowly rides you out. I mean, you're still useless for the whole day, but at least you don't hurt as much.
Yeah, I don't have that ability.
The problem is you have 2, you want to have more.
Yeah.
So you gotta take care of it.
Yeah, I don't have a, like, when I'm hungover, man, I just want to lay around and drink water, eat pizza.
Are you leave a Gatorade by the bed to wake up?
No, I love
2
water.
in the morning? Yeah.
I'm a water guy.
I drink. I saw the other day that I need to be drinking.
I should get Pedialyte in my house.
You should.
Yeah.
I saw that I need to be drinking at least 10 glasses of water a day.
No. Well, you see that jug over there? I just keep filling that up all day.
Do you?
That's what I do.
That's what I should do. Just get a big old
yeah,
jug.
that's the way you do it.
All right, it's done. That means I got to my limit.
Yeah, like just fill that up.
See, we've got this giant Culligan water cooler at work at my day job. Yeah. So, and I'm literally, my desk is the closest desk to it, so it's kind of easy to go to. But
just water bog yourself the whole time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I get home and I'm not hungry because my belly's full of water. Yeah. Which is, I guess, good on the old gut.
Oh yeah,
keep that down.
Better than that's what I've been fortunate. Like, I haven't drank pop in like 5 years. I haven't drank pop that hasn't had alcohol in it.
Sure.
For 5 years. Yeah. I feel bad for people that like have that addiction.
The only pop I ever drink is Dr. Pepper. Ooh. And it's extremely rare that I do. I saw that bottle. I saw that up there.
That was for open houses. So I don't drink any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I grew up drinking it. It was kind of my go-to thing. Like, I was big, and I had a bookshelf.
Oh, really?
That every time I finished a can, I would just stack it up. And I filled an entire bookshelf. It had...
Of Dr. Pepper cans?
Yeah, like 400-something Dr. Pepper cans. I have a photo of it. I'll have to hunt down the photo. But, it didn't take me long into my, like, mid to late 20s that I went, I'm going to stop drinking pop.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. They say beer is actually healthier for you than pop. But the problem is...
Pop's just got so much extra shit in it.
Oh, there's a lot of sugar, man.
Sugar.
A lot of sugar.
It's more addictive than cocaine.
Yep.
Just remember.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Around my heart, running around my brain.
If you're down at the lake and you need a steak, propane.
Did you see that Coast Guard article the other day? Last week. 35,000 pounds of cocaine seized at the border.
I think I did see that.
Like 400-something million.
Was it cocaine or was it fentanyl?
So the article I read said cocaine, but it was $400-something million wholesale price of what they seized. And they were talking about it at my work, and as a joke, I hollered out, "Well, shit! Now my weekend's ruined." My boss turns and looks at me because they know I play music, and there's the old stereotype. They're like, "I'm just kidding," but that's a lot of cocaine.
There goes my weekend.
There goes my weekend.
Man, now the prices are gonna take a jump.
They had the photo of like the entire Coast Guard platoon, all standing next to it all, and I'm like, I bet they found 50,000 pounds of it, and they only reported 35. Just kidding.
How'd you like that? I read a thing on Facebook that our lovely, what is it, Governor Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
She said that she wanted to like postpone the passage of like legalizing hemp in South Dakota.
Right. I read that.
And I read that one of the things is like public safety. It's like, what are you smoking? Like,
well,
public safety on something that's non-psychoactive. Like, let's ban lettuce.
Yeah.
For
essentially
because of public safety issues.
And lettuce has actually killed people.
Probably, yeah. You choke on that.
They've recalled romaine lettuce how many times?
Oh, yeah.
Or iceberg lettuce or whatever?
Yeah, deadly.
No, the article
deadly.
I read was that there's not, like, the people that stand to make money off of it don't have they're not in the right position to make money off of it, so they want to postpone it until they are, which is bullshit, if you ask me.
The structure isn't in place
and
yet.
it's like, no, there's a lot of farmers and ranchers right now that would benefit from it, but...
Well, like, my family's farm and ranch, like, the soil, you can't grow much good stuff there anyway without dumping a bunch of money into it and fertilizer. Hemp, that stuff is a weed, basically.
Yeah.
That would be a great, like, that could change agriculture in western South Dakota.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
But yet, people are still so hung up on...
Well, CBD oil is a felony in South Dakota.
I know.
A felony?
I know.
Like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah. Man.
That blew me away when I found that out. I was like, that's unbelievable.
I know. And what do you think about that? What do you think's gonna happen with that? When do you think South Dakota's gonna come around? It's gonna happen eventually.
It'll happen everywhere eventually. I think it is just a matter of time, and that's the problem. Is the reason it's a matter of time is because there's people that know it's going to happen eventually, and they're in positions to be able to set themselves up to make a shit ton of money, and they're waiting until they're there, and that's really sad.
But at the same time, though, I know a lot of people around here though that I know that they're still in the whole old reefer madness thing where they.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, South Dakota has a lot of that. I don't know if it's called conservative mindset or if it's just. I think it's
too much Fox News.
I think it's ignorance. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Just a lack of
ignorance.
knowledge on what it actually is.
Yeah.
You know, and education is a big key in that. The problem is when you have. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of having this conversation with my grandmother. It's like, how do you educate someone that is 80 plus years old? It's like that's a lot of people stop trying to learn way before that. They're like, I have my decisions made and I'm just coasting.
A lot of things with like politics or that sort of views, like that's one thing I used to argue politics with people on Facebook all the time, and I stopped, and my life is so much better because I did.
I'm glad you did, because that is a bad move, man.
Because here's the thing, like, everyone thinks what they think. They have their own reasons for it. It's what they've either been taught, what they've come up with,
different backgrounds,
the way they're thinking, and a lot of people, they just kind of go with the flow. This is what they don't think about it a lot. They just. This is what I think. I'm going to repeat it. They don't really think about it. Doesn't matter if it's logical or not.
Yeah.
So, don't argue politics on Facebook because you're never going to change anyone's mind. I mean, I'll post stuff every once in a while and just post it for it to be out there.
So I've gotten to the point where I will write out a response and then delete it. Like, just because I don't want to spend my whole day having to defend that. It's like, no, if you want to talk with me, come talk with me.
Yes.
And if we're in person, we will have a conversation.
Yeah, that's the only way anything's ever going to... Facebook, that was a big change I made, and I'm so happy I did it, because that is so unproductive.
I don't post any of my political or social views on Facebook.
Well, no one cares for the most part.
No one really cares because everyone's,
they got their own beliefs.
It's become so saturated with it that everyone kind of just dismisses it anyway, but... At the same time, it's like, no, that's not my avenue for that. Yeah. I have very strong opinions on pretty much every issue out there. But
But come talk to me about it.
Yeah, if you want to find out what they are, we're going to have a conversation. You're not going to go to my Facebook page and stalk me and, oh, this is what he thinks about A, B, and C. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, that's what someone has to be someone wants to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
If you try to tell someone something, they're just going to...
Well, you miss so much. They're just so much nuance when you're reading something versus facial expressions, tone inflections, all of that stuff. And I don't know. I think there's value in conversing with people face to face.
Yeah, well, it's super important. Yeah.
And we don't do it enough. We don't do it enough anymore. Which is really sad.
We're so polarized right now that everyone is just fighting with each other when, like, whether what side of the aisle you on, you are the same person. You think the same things, just on a different team.
It's a pretty good chance you both want the same outcome. Yeah. I mean, there's outliers, of course, but as a general rule, statistically, most people are middle.
Yeah. Everything's on a spectrum.
Yeah.
Take anything. It's on a spectrum. The answer probably is somewhere in the middle.
But the squeaky wheel gets the most noise, man.
That's what people love. Outrageous stuff. Look at our president.
This is fun.
Donald Trump. We got bring us home.
We got to a great rant here.
Yeah.
This is why you shouldn't give us old fashions and then follow with Busch Light.
Yeah, got her going. Yeah, you gotta wash was it?
Oh, I got the cherries in there still.
Yeah, they're packing all the punch.
Are you a cherry fan or strawberry? Is that your?
Yeah, cherry.
Yeah,
I like them cherries. Yeah.
Do you have a date for the album yet?
Oh, that's a good question. I wanted it out last year. I think now I think
we should set a date right now on the Heath Bar.
Okay, so
and we're gonna hold.
I'm gonna be super conservative with this. The date is I want to release at least the first single in 2019.
Okay.
The whole album, it would be nice to have it out right away, but my plan is I want to release a single, another single, album, another single.
And let me ask you this. Do you think it's possible to have it out by Sturgis Rally?
Maybe. I mean, it's like we got... So
I mean, it's only February. That's in August.
Yeah, and that's what I have the next 2 weekends off, so I'll probably try to get a bunch of work done on it over these next 2 weekends. We're just starting basically the vocals, so we have at least 2 sessions for main vocals.
Just
probably.
Recording those.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have to do backup vocals. And some odds and ends stuff.
Okay.
So...
And then Zach's got to do his magic
and then
produce it and master it and everything.
That's just to get everything. Then you're done tracking. So after that, we start the mixing, and I haven't got album artwork together. I haven't got none of that together. So my goal is to get it done first thing. I want to have it done before I really start releasing anything.
Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I'm saying, like, 2019, man, if I don't have at least a single out this summer, I'd like to have a single out, and then maybe release second one in the fall, move on, and maybe release it early in 2020.
See, I think that's one of the hardest parts with being a musician up here is you've got... I mean, most all of us have day jobs. We have other occupations that we have to do. You're a realtor. But how long have you been doing that now?
Almost a year.
Okay, so a year being a realtor, which that takes a lot of time. You know, I've got my own day job. You know, everyone else I talk to has day jobs and stuff they do.
Self-employed is
don't
all
yeah,
all day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very select few that don't, that have the freedom to just sit and write. So when you've got that and you're trying to put an album out, I guess, I mean, like you said, scheduling would be the hardest part of that.
Yeah, literally just getting
so it's not like you can set a plan and say, okay, here's my, like, someone that has the freedom to do that. Like, well, I just want to, in the next 3 months, I'm going to get an album recorded and get it out. Like, no, it's not going to happen that way because you've got to figure out. So it's because all you have left is vocals, and it's you and Melissa.
Yeah, I'd like Melissa to do the backup vocals. Okay. But if
we
can't get her down, yeah.
We're going to make you do it.
If we can't get her to Gillette, I might have to figure something else out. And then Zach did most of the guitar work. I did some of the guitar work. I did most of the bass. He did some of the bass. And Kyle Meyer did the drums.
Sweet.
So it's pretty much all self-produced and self-done.
I'm gonna tell you to at least get a single out by the summer.
Yeah.
I think you can. Easily can.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm so...
Dude, if the album's done by Raleigh and you can book some gigs for that, that'd be good too.
Yeah, that'd be good. But I'm such a business guy. Are you growing up on us, Jacob? I'm like, I got to have a plan on how to release this stuff because I'm not one of them people that's like, I'm not one of them people that's just gonna release an album and just like hope someone hears it.
Do you need help with that?
I'm very systematic. What?
Do you need help with that?
What do you mean?
Like getting a plan in place on how to release it?
Well, I got a plan.
Okay. Well, if you want to bounce some ideas off,
Sure.
I've got a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm definitely like I want to do it like you're actually releasing a product.
Right.
Because as a musician, like I want to expose it to the most people I can. So you have to be kind of systematic about that, I feel like. So that's why I'm kind of taking my time, making sure that's just kind of the way I am. Like to have my ducks in order. So yeah, have a single out and
I'm just saying, I think you could do it. I mean, I think
I probably could, yeah.
If you're really focused, you could have the whole album out by Raleigh, and then it'd be available to sell.
Yeah.
And
I might too. We'll see what happens.
It'd be cool.
I got the next 2 weekends open. We'll see what we can get done.
It'd be cool, man. Where are you playing next? Where's your next gig? You said you're solid through June, or mostly solid through June.
So right now, I got the next 2 weekends off, and then me and Cody are going to be doing a duo show up in Miles City, Montana.
Oh, nice.
Montana Bar.
You guys catching Jake while you're up there?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the next one. And, March is kind of here and there.
Okay.
Got a lot of stuff pending. I'm just getting my March booked up now. I've stuff booked up later on, in the summer. But, my March... I'm still trying to get organized kind of last minute.
Okay.
So, but for right now. And I'm doing my live stream again on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
the only reason I'm still doing that is just because I get such a good response from that.
And you do that every Wednesday at 8 Mountain Time, right?
I'm gonna now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be at 8 every night, but 8:30. I was really bad at doing that for a long time. And I'm getting back into it now. I had to cut some things, free up some time.
Sure.
So now my intention is to keep doing it because I get good feedback from it. So
that's sweet, man.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Where can people find you online at? Where's your stuff at?
Jacob Johnson music page, Facebook. I used to have a website. I don't anymore. So everything's on Facebook. I do everything on Facebook. All my social media, Instagram. I don't really use Twitter. The big underscore Johnson.
The Big Johnson.
The Big Johnson.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
but you took that from me. I had to use Heath Bar because you took it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, pretty much everything's on my Facebook music page.
Yeah,
and shameless plug. I just got going today is I'm selling my merch.
I saw that.
Facebook.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Because I had an online store and was selling it, but I shut that down because it cost money and I wasn't really selling anything.
So you can sell them on Facebook?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice.
Jeez, they're people taking buy over everything, man.
Yeah, the magical technology of Facebook. So that's available now. Now you can buy my merch online. When I get the album out, I'll probably run everything kind of off of Facebook for now.
Yeah.
Just because I don't everything's kind of there, so I don't really see any reason to have any other site. So, yeah, Jacob Johnson Music page. Just search Jacob Johnson Music.
Cool.
And
there and Instagram and Twitter. Are you on Twitter at all?
Not really anymore.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna delete my Twitter.
Yeah, I've been debating that.
Yeah.
Back and forth. I don't know. I kind of like it, but
I like it because it's the Wild West. I go there when I want a good chuckle.
Sure, absolutely.
But yeah, other than that,
yeah.
Instagram and Facebook are my go-to for music or business stuff. Facebook 100%, but more my personal social media is pretty much only Instagram.
Sure,
I use that kind of not all the time. So
absolutely,
yeah,
cool, man, dude. This was fun. This was a great conversation.
Oh yeah, how long are we at?
Dude, hour and a half-ish, I think, something like that. Like, it's funny how fast it goes, but you got less than an hour before you go live on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
I better figure out what I'm going to play.
We should probably call it.
Yeah.
Play Carry On. Play our song we wrote.
Yeah.
You're going to have to relearn it, aren't you? Because you haven't played it in a while.
Might have to. Yeah. I think I remember it.
It's not that hard. It's an easy song. Yeah. It's the lyrics that get...
I wrote it.
That's true. You did write most of it.
Should be able to remember it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, cheers. Thanks for hanging out at the Heath Bar. I appreciate this.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll have you on again.
By the way,
after the album.
This is my first podcast.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Ooh.
This is my first podcast.
Well, there's going to be more. Once the album's out, we're going to have you back on.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Sounds good.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
That's a wrap, everyone. Once again, if you want to get a hold of me in any way, shape, or form, the best way to do that is emailing me at heath@heathbaronline.com or follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram at heathbaronline or on Twitter at Heath Johnson. We'll see y'all next time, folks.